Hello YouTube, thank you so much for making it back to my channel. I appreciate you. So today I'm going to be talking about how would you know if your friend is a true friend. Okay, so I have a few things on my list, but again, a disclaimer: it doesn't mean because they have one or two on this list means that they're a bad friend. Pay attention. And also, just because someone is not a good friend doesn't mean they're a bad human being. Okay, they're not a bad person if they don't make this list. It just means that maybe they're not someone you can rely on. Maybe they're not someone you can trust. Maybe they're not someone you can be like, okay, I know I can come to this person if I can't go to anyone else. So you just know, right? So that's what this is about. Again, my videos are not based on science. They're not based on facts. They're based on my experience. I'm a human being. I've been in this planet for quite some time. That makes me sound like ancient, but I'm not. So these videos are based on my experience, sometimes my friends' experience, people around me experiences, books I read, different things, right? That make part of me, my experience, etc., etc. So let's get started. So number one. So this doesn't mean that it's not in order of priority, by the way. It's just in random order, and I'm just gonna say them. So number one, a true friend tells you the truth. They don't just tell you the truth, they tell you the truth in a compassionate way, right? We all have those friends that are like, you know what, it was the truth, take it or leave it, you just can't take the truth, girl, okay, I'm telling you the truth, and then they're just brutal about it, right? A true friend will tell you the truth, but they will tell you the truth in a way that you would understand, in a way that is not degrading, in a way that is not it's not hurtful. It's just in a way that shows that they actually saying it out of a place of love, not out of place of judgment or anything like that. So if you have a friend that can tell you the truth, hold them tight. Okay, it's so hard to have friends like that nowadays, just because of everything that's going on, the politeness that the world is in right now. You can't say the truth, the body image movement that's going on, the facade and the fakes that's going on in this world. So sometimes it's difficult to speak the truth. If we find it so hard. And also the way people are sensitive now. I'm not saying that anyone that talks about being disrespected is being sensitive. I'm just saying in general now, we're more cautious about what we say to people, and people are a little bit more on the sensitive side. So sometimes people don't want to say anything to for you would feel offended. So if you have that one friend that can tell you the truth and sympathize with you, and you've got a good friend, okay, hold them with your dear life. So that's a good friend. And the second thing is that they don't want anything from you. We live in a world right now where everyone wants to make the most out of humans, whether that's online interactions to gather your attention, whether that's a sale call you're receiving, someone wants your money, whether that's a fraudster. So everyone wants something nowadays. It's difficult to find that person that just wants you for you. So if you do have that friend that's not always asking you for favors, I'm not saying it's not healthy to ask friends for favors, because that's what sometimes friendship is. It's about when I need something. I'm not saying that's all it is, but that's also part of friendship, to help someone out when you can. But when a friend is coming to you all the time because they need something from you, whether that's doing their homework, whether that's whether that's giving them money, whatever it is, if that's a pattern with your friendship with that person, they always want something, then I'm sorry, you have to reconsider that friendship. I had a friend, every time she speaks to me, she wanted to borrow money. In the beginning, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll give you some. I don't have a lot myself, but I'll give you some because, I know you're going different things, mental stuff right now, and all of that. But then I find out that every time she was calling me for that. Actually, I had two friends thinking about it now that were like that. And what made it worse is that she would say she would pay me back, but then she wouldn't pay me, and then I guess our conversation just stopped, because then I guess she wouldn't call me because then she didn't have the money to pay. So it kind of just put our friendship in a seesaw, and the seesaw's gone down like that. So it was like that, so eventually she stopped calling me because she felt bad, I guess. Every time she calls me, she thinks I'll ask her for that money. But my philosophy is, when you give someone money, give someone the money you wouldn't mind losing, right? That's my philosophy. The thing is, if you give money you're comfortable with, if that person doesn't give you that money, you wouldn't feel as bad as you would if you gave someone, let's say, £1,000 when you didn't have that money to begin with, that much money. So basically, this is just on this side. Don't give more that you're not willing to lose, whether that's to a friend, to a family, to whoever, okay? So that's the second sign of a bad friend. And the next one is, a good friend wants to alleviate your burden. I'm not saying this in a codependent way that, they always want to save you and always want to do stuff for you. But friendship is give and take, right? So let's say you invite your friend over, you're cooking, and then they do the washing up. They help you out. That's basically what I'm trying to say. A friend wants to alleviate your burden, but it doesn't mean take on all your load. No, they do what they can to help you out. So that's another tip as well. And this is one thing, they would defend you. This is another sign of a good friend. A good friend would defend you regardless. A good friend wouldn't talk behind your back. A good friend wouldn't join in to gossip about you. A good friend will have your back. I'm not saying they'll literally be out there fighting your battles or pulling people's wigs. No, it's not gonna be like that. But a good friend would at least try to defend you, right? They wouldn't be there tarnishing your name and all of those things. So they'll have your back. So that's what a good friend is, right? And a good friend wants the best for you. There's a lot of jealousy, and I never understand that, actually. Okay, there is, as humans, we do have that little tendencies to get jealous. But toxic jealousy is when you're very envious, right? You're like, oh no, why should they have that blessing? It should have been me. That's when it's toxic. But it's healthy to have a little bit of jealousy, like, oh wow, okay, I'm gonna work hard. It's like an inspiration. It's like a challenge, that person motivates you. Instead of jealousy, you see them do well, it motivates you to want to do well, yourself. That's for me. When I see my friends doing well, I'm like, oh wow, I get my game going. It's a motivation. It gets me, my spirit going, and I do like it. So a friend is happy for your wins. It's not all about them winning and all about them winning all the time. But when you have your own little wins, then they're upset. That's not what a good friend does, okay? You celebrate each other's achievement and you push each other to do the best that you can as individuals. And another sign of a good friend is as well, avoid hurting your feelings. A good friend wouldn't be vindictive with their words, right? They wouldn't say things because they know they're gonna hurt you, or say things in a passive aggressive way. They wouldn't purposely say anything to hurt you. Okay, sometimes we can say things out of anger. Sometimes things can come out because we don't know how to communicate better. Things can come out in a certain way that's hurtful. But a true friend wouldn't intentionally say things to actually hurt you, right? So that's another thing that if a good friend will do. And if ever there's a misunderstanding, they will try and clear that up. So a good friend will try and clear misunderstanding, or they'll try and communicate in a way that what they're saying is not going to be hurtful, or it's not going to come across hurtful to you, or it's not misintrude in any way. Okay, let's take a drink break, okay? Because your girl is thirsty. Cheers. So I've got mango and apple here. Taste, but I just don't drink alcohol for personal reasons. But you do you, boo, do you. Another sign, a good friend, they will help you out and they will be there for you. So let's say you have a difficult situation going on, maybe you lost someone, or something emotional is going on, or just something, we're humans, sometimes we have bad days. I'm not just saying, you have to wake up early sort of bad day. But I'm just saying we go through certain life-changing events, even if it's not that extreme. But a good friend would be there for you. Bear in mind, everyone have a life that's going on. Sometimes you and your friend might be having difficult times at the same time, and they cannot be there for you. And also it depends on how the other person is, but generally a good friend will want to be there for you, and they will show signs of wanting to be there for you. So let's say you tell your friend that you lost a job or something, they'll check up on you, or how are you feeling about it, try applying. They would encourage you to actually not to be discouraged, to keep looking for work and stuff like that. So that's what a good friend is, that they pick you up. And for me, that's one thing as well. In friendships, sometimes I feel too much for my friends and I'm working on that. Sometimes I feel too much for my friends. That's one thing I'm working on as well. Called people pleasing, I'm working on that. But I'll be finding them jobs and stuff like that. So I'm not saying a good friend would have to be finding you jobs, looking for jobs for you, no, but they will encourage you to pick yourself up. And yeah, just also a good friend is someone you can be vulnerable with, right? And someone that can also be vulnerable with you. It's give and take. It's give and take. Vulnerability is something that is mutual, right? I'm not saying people always have to have deep thing that they need to exchange with someone else for you to feel like they're a good friend. But even if it's a small thing, or even if they don't have anything vulnerable, they're free to talk to you. Like, they feel like they can be themselves around you, right? I had a friend, why I realized that, I don't think this friendship is healthy anymore, or this is not a friendship I want to be in, is because I could not be myself around them. I was just so awkward around them. I just feel very awkward around them. And also I couldn't be honest with them. For me, I'm a very honest person. Well, I try to be honest, at least. That was a sign, is that, okay, I think my friendship with this person is coming to an end because I cannot be honest with them. And I can't not be vulnerable with them because I don't trust that they will keep my secret. I'm kind of moving down the list now, but since I'm already talking about it, the next sign of a good friend is trust. I feel like trust is important in everything, in friendship, in relationship, intimate relationship, in familyship. Trust is important, right? I feel like without trust, we can't really be vulnerable with people. So I think trust is key. So if I was to say what trust is the belief that someone expose what you say to them when it comes to conversation, right? That's what I'm talking about. So trust is just knowing that this person, you're not gonna say something to them and then they go say it to someone else down the road, or they say it to your other friends if you have mutual friends. So you just trust them to keep whatever you say to them confidential. So that's what I would say trust is. So trust has to be in a good friendship. And the next sign of a good friendship is they'll reply to your messages. If you've checked my previous video on how to motivate yourself to do that thing you want to do, I talked about how slow I am with replies. But even though I'm a slow replier, if a friend message me and I reply. If there is that kind of friendship, they mean so much to me, I'll definitely reply. So that's how I gauge how interested someone else to be my friend, how they reply to me, right? If you're taking months to reply to me, then I know where I'm a priority in your life, right? Is that friend you just message when you've got excess time, right? Or when you feel bad that it's been weeks you haven't replied, so you reply not to feel so bad, right? If a friend message you, it's respectful to reply. It's just a respectful thing to do. So I've told myself now I wouldn't go 3 days without replying to someone else's messages, even if they're not a friend. It's just a sign of respect. I'm sorry. Reply to people's messages. If you cannot reply, say, I'm sorry, I'm busy right now, but I'll get back to you. I just feel like it's just common courtesy and it's just respect at the end of the day. So that's one thing. A friend, if you message them, they'll get back to you, and if you call them, they'll call you back. You know, I feel like that's just a common thing, but right now I've noticed that common things are not so common anymore. So I'm going to take another sip again. And then the next one is you can rely on them. So a good friend is someone you can rely on. When I say rely on, I don't mean that you can trust them to take up all your burdens and you can just dump on them and all of that. No, but I'm saying generally a friend is someone that is consistent. They've shown up for you consistently, so you know they're reliable in that way. So you know that if I call my friend, if I'm stranded or if I'm in the hospital and I call my friend, they will come. That's something like that. If I have an event that's important, for example, I've got a wedding, I'm getting married, I know at least this friend will turn up. Like, it's just that friend that has your back, that friend that's reliable. You know, I have all kind of friends, and there's another friend that I'm not so close to anymore who was always flaky. You know, there's always someone in a group. So they were more flaky. You cannot rely on them. They change plans suddenly, often. You know, it's just, I know they're a nice person and I love them, but it's just, I know that this person is not someone I can trust on. It's not someone I can rely on. I trust them to some extent, but it's not someone I can rely on, right? So that's another thing. And this final one of a good friend is a friend that prays for you, right? I'm a believer, I believe in God and I believe in prayer, right? A good friend is someone that prays for you. Even if they're not religious, you know, they when you tell them something, they'll be like, oh, I wish this, you know, but they're actually wishing it. Oh, I know how much I love a friend is how much I pray for them, right? It's always keep them in prayer, especially when they tell me something is going on. If they're telling me that they're having a difficult situation going on, I'm not saying that I'll pray for them all the time that I pray, no. But sometimes I think about them in prayers, and then I thought of what they told me, and then I'll pray for them. Oh, I hope this thing happen. I hope this, you know, different things that they tell me. I take it to prayer when I'm praying for myself. You know, when I'm praying for my family, I make sure to pray for people I care about, right? And that's, you know, my good friends, and I pray for them. So basically, that's the final one, is that they wish you well. Either they say it to you or they take it to prayer and they wish you good things. That's what a good friend does. So you comment down on the comment section and let me know what you think makes a good friend. Are you a good friend? Are you a questionable friend? I'm still trying to be a better friend, okay? I'm not perfect. I'm still working on myself and I'm trying to be a better friend to my friends, okay? They say be the friend to others, the friend you want for yourself. So would you want you as a friend? Would you want you as a good friend? Would you want you as a best friend? Right? If you're not, then try to be a good friend, okay? Because we all need a friend in this world. So yes, thank you so much for being here with me again today, and I hope you check out some of my other videos, but I'm planning on doing more videos, right? So check out the few videos I have right now. Support a small channel, you know, a growing channel, hopefully. So yeah, get on the comments and comment, and if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, I don't mind you saying your disagreements, but please be respectful, okay? I'm behind the camera, but I have feelings, I have emotions, and yeah, I get hurt sometimes, okay? So be gentle. And I hope to see you again. Stay healthy, okay? Stay humble. And peace out.